Next two items that we have here, we have Chapter 1 Study Guide, download, print, fill out, and Chapter 1 Open Book Test. Now these go hand in hand. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to print this out. Then once you've gone through your textbook and found the answers and filled it out, use that study guide on the open book test. Basically, this test, as we're calling it, or quiz, it is how you turn in your study guide. This right here is how I know that you did this assignment. Especially for those of you that are online, how do I know that you're even using the textbook at all? There's no way for us to evaluate that because I don't see you. So this will provide a way to know that. If you're passing these and getting good grades on these, then I know that you're spending time filling out the study guide. If you have any questions on the study guide, for instance, there's a problem that you just can't not find the answer to, then give me a call, send me an email. Of course, those of you that are face-to-face, talk to me in class. So let's take a look at what happens when we hit our study guide here. It brings open a PDF file. And so we're going to want to print this out so we can fill it out. And you're going to want to keep those. Keep these study guides because it will help you fill out the final study guide. In other words, we will have a final. It won't be open book, and you'll need something to study with. So keep these. Don't just fill it out and throw it away. Now, how would I do that? You can see that I'm on a Mac computer, but it's pretty much the same for Windows. Windows, often you will get a little print button that'll pull up as you browse around or move your arrow around in this area. You can right-click this area, save it if you'd like, save PDF as, or if you get two options, always print the frame. On a Mac, it'll actually show you, hey, this is what I'm going to print, and that's exactly what I want to do is print this. So I'd hit print, and away it goes. Once it's printed, fill it out, and that's what these steps show you right there. So let's go back and take a look at what happens for the test. So here's the Chapter 1 open book test. Don't just open this up and try to guess. Make sure that you filled this out and that you've got it handy to use. So I'm going to click that. It'll take it a minute. It says, remember, you can use your study guide, but not someone else's. So that's cheating to have somebody else do all your study guides and then you just fill out the test. That would be wrong. So remember, you can use your study guide, but not somebody else's. And then we hit start, and we're ready to go. And notice that this little test here has got 20 questions on it. And if you have your study guide handy, then you'll know the answers to these, and you can just fill it out and hit next. You can always save it for later up here at the top. So this way, if it's really late at night and you thought, man, I'm going to get this done, and you get down to 15 or 16 and you're like, oh, I'm just so tired, you can save it. You can hit save for later, and it'll ask us if you're sure you want to save it. And then, of course, you can also submit for grading, finish and submit. When you get to the last question, that's what you'll want to do. And also review the questions, so you can go back and forth within this interface. Now, something very important to note about the study guide tests. It will only take your first score. That means you can open this 3 times. You could come in here and get to 9 and say, I don't know what I'm doing, and submit it and fail it because you only answered 9 questions. That's going to be the score. So make sure that you have got your study guide done, that if you had any questions on whether or not some of the answers were correct, that you talk to me, and then open this and take it, because that will be your only option or your only opportunity to get a good grade on that. If you go through this 3 times and then finally get an A on the 3rd time, that's not going to count. And I've had students do that in the past. They get a 50 or something because they just say, well, I'll just go through the test. And that helps them memorize the questions. And then the next time they get a better score. And then the 3rd time they get an A. They're like, hey, how come my score's not going up? Well, that's because I don't want you doing that. I don't want you just opening it up and memorizing questions. I want you to actually go through your text and find the answers. You learn a lot more that way.